Hello, everyone. I'm live, apparently. So, hopefully everyone can hear me. Let's get some invites going. Where do I invite? I just updated my thing. Okay, here we go. So, let's see. Invite a whole bunch of people. Invite a whole bunch of people. Invite a whole bunch of people. Let's see. We're getting there. Working through my list. We'll see who gets on and so on. And, oh, yep, Bella's talking too. Bella wants to talk too. So basically, I thought I would come on live, to get some more practice, because, you know, that's what they tell you to do. Be more approachable. Lives are always great for that. What else? Yeah. Basically, the topic of this live is pretty much an Ask Me Anything. I have a few ideas of things I can talk about, but I'd love to hear what's going on with everyone else out there. If you're here, say hi. I'd love to hear that you're here and listening and all that stuff. And it's great also to listen back to your own lives. I noticed, you know, one of those things that you're not supposed to say, or or uhs, and I have my own version of that. I say you know a lot. So I've noticed that. So hopefully I do a little bit less of that. Who else is coming online? Let's see. Getting through my list really fast. All right. So, oh my goodness, Vicky, how is it going? Hi, Rose. So yeah, Vicky. My hair's short again, so you'll recognize me. My hair's short again from what? God, 8, at least 8 years. Holy crap. No, at least 6 years. But holy crap. Anyways, so I see you've got some babies going as well. Last time I heard you were pregnant with the first one. So, ooh, I've got 5 people. Yeah, 2009. That was, well, let's just skip over 2009. We all know it wasn't my best year. Neither was 2010. But hey, we live and we learn, and that's what makes us who we are now. All right. So, yeah, you'll probably hear Bella's my cheerleader chewing on her. Oh, let's move that. Yeah. She's got her killer. Yep, this thing right here. I'm convinced it's trying to kill me. Doesn't it look dangerous? It's an antler. And it's not that friendly. So, I live in Calgary. We just moved into the city a couple of months ago. Before we lived over in a little suburb of Red Deer. So now we're in Alberta. I only have fur babies, but I am with my significant other. March will be, it's always March, isn't it? March will be year 5. Denise, you're on. It's what? You should be in bed, Denise. It's stupid o'clock where you are. You should be in bed. Go back to bed. Yes. And we have our Carmen, right? Carmen's hanging out with us too. Anyways, so I have something I wanted to talk about that I was chatting with Kate Edwards with earlier this evening. And it was mentioned earlier today in a group that I was in, and I said a little bit about it, and I want to make a blog post about it. Maybe I'll just do this as a video blog. Yes, Carmen, your tail is in the way. The joys, right? The joys it's not just children, it's for children, right? But in the online world, there's this piece of advice, catchphrase, sort of one of those bits of advice that people keep telling you, and it's all about charging what you're worth. Now, I have a huge problem with this phrase. Who else has a huge problem with this phrase? If you have an issue with this phrase, give me some love or some likes. That would be great. But basically, I hate the phrase, charge what you're worth. How do you know what you're worth, really? It's so hard to figure out what you're worth, adding, your own mindset issues. And if they give you advice when you're charging, when you're starting out, what do you price yourself as? You want to price yourself as, good to go and you can trust me. And yes, everyone is priceless as a person. But in business, how do you charge what you're worth? How do you decide what to price yourself at? And for those of us spoonies in the room, there are a few of us, I think, and some of us spoonies that will be probably, hopefully, listening in on the replay. Your worth has a lot to do with how you're feeling that day. Everyone has their ups and downs, and spoonies definitely have their good days and their bad days. And day to day is different, and hell, even moment to moment is different. So how do you guys decide what you're worth? What do you charge? How do you start even deciding what to charge for your services if you are a service provider? Yes, Kate says what people are willing to pay is different to the worth of the work and different to the worth of our personhood. That's true. It's all about mindset that I think has a lot to do with it, because if your self-esteem is not so great, you start off on the low end. Oh, a spoonie is basically anyone with chronic illness. Usually identifies as a spoonie. So for those of you that don't know, I have chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia and depression. Hi, Tina. So yeah, I have all those. Therefore, I consider myself a spoonie. It's all about how many spoons you have and how many you spend doing the day-to-day things. So when you're new at the online world or building your business, how do you decide what to charge? Like there's right now in the virtual service providers out there, they charge, anywhere between $2 an hour to, hell, even $35 an hour at the beginning-ish / got your foot in the door, your toe in the door in the online world. How do you compete with all of that? Where do you fit in all of that? And I like to just discuss that. Like, how do you decide where to start in your services? And I know Ellen created a lot of, she's building a new pricing and packages and stuff. So Ellen, why don't you share a little bit about what how did you decide how much to charge? Because I know you have that, buy a kit and you get my services free, or not services free, but you charge for the services or something. How did you decide what to charge? So yeah, how did you decide what to charge? Why did I start, charging? My first paying customer was really, that's true. Yeah, still figuring it out. I think it's an ongoing process because you're constantly changing how you position yourself. You're even more expert than what you used to be, and so on, and you build, expert status. So I think, there's a starting average when you're just, putting yourself out there, but it's not about charging what you're worth, because it's hard to determine your worth, right? You get the most awesome client who, says you are worth $1 million. If they could pay $1 million, they'd pay you. And how do you how do you build from that? That's an ego boost, right? And we all deal with ego and self-esteem. How do you put yourself out there? Where do you even start? So I think that's a real important factor when you're building a business and building your own sort of get your expert status, become good at one thing or a package or a niche, you know, and really push it. Oh gosh, the song's in my head right now. So charge what you're worth isn't really your worth, because your brain energy is worth something. Your physical energy is worth something. Your time is worth something. How do you choose between all those different factors? How do you start? And I think with the conversation I had earlier in another group, it's not about asking yourself what it's worth. It's about not compromising on your final price. You know, if you think your service is worth $25 for an hour's worth of that work or a package, then charge that. Don't negotiate on that price. What you can negotiate is, if they don't have $25 to spend, ask them what their budget is. You know, ask them what are the most important things that you need done right now out of the list. And then go from there. Decide how much, you know, how much are they able to spend. Oh. And so many people want to spend the money, but they don't have the money, right? That's my situation. I want to hire all these great people. I don't have the money to pay for their prices, and I'm not going to negotiate on their prices, because I believe that they're worth that. I just don't have the money to pay it. So what can I get for the money that I do have as a client? Ellen says, I'm starting at a spot that I know I can live with. I figure out all my expenses. Then it all depends on the offers, how many clients I can take on with a particular offer. That's, yeah. How many clients do you need a month? And if you're the sole provider for your household, or, you know, household being one person or a family, how much do you need to pay bills? And, you know, how many clients can you take on at a time, all at one point? All at, you know, how many clients can you have all at the same time? And then build from that. So it's a bit of working backwards to figure out your pricing and where to position yourself and where to start with. You know, what foot to start with. I know this is practice, and I know this isn't, you know, super awesome impressiveness, but working on my live skills. How's everyone else out there? Who else? I know I've got a few people in here from, like, my business buddies, but I've got a few, like, personal friends. Anyone else in my personal friends that are building businesses and building, you know, some sort of income based on their own offers? You know, not working in corporate or with a company, but being your own self-employed person? Who else is out there doing that? I would love to see you pipe up, or a like, or a love. That would be awesome. Hi, Danny. How are you doing? Hi, Denise. Awesome that you can make it. Right. Okay, so Ellen says, if you don't have the portfolio to show off your work, create dummy work to use, or find people you can barter with to build that portfolio and testimonials. Right. But, I mean, if you're doing administrative work, it's hard to show a portfolio. You know, if you're offering email management, you can't exactly take a screenshot of someone's email inbox. That's just not cool, because that's private information. So how do you show stuff that, like, administrative work is really hard to show examples of? I think bartering for testimonials, or, you know, like a smaller introductory offer to get people interested, is a great idea. I have a friend named Jess in another group, and she was saying start out with, you know, like a trial week. And then get them to sign for a month afterwards, once they see just how awesome sauce you are. And yes, Jess likes to use awesome sauce as well, so kudos to that. Yeah, Vicky says, I keep thinking to be a coach for Beachbody just to help others and also to help myself. I think that's why a lot of people are doing now, is they're taking their own lives and putting it to use to help others, which is great. You know, there's a lot of companies out there like Essential Oils or Beachbody or, you know, selling products that it's all about helping others and sharing your joy with other people. Yeah, you need to have, Vicky says it's more or less you need to have people that you can trust to have a support team and know what you do to talk about it. Right. And I'm building on the essential oils. You give me an issue and I can tell you how, you know, what oils I can suggest that might help it. But in terms of like having a spiel about essential oils, that's where I'm not that great yet. Yes, awesome sauce is great. Because we all have awesome sauce. Yeah, it's all about finding your support people. And I mean, in the business world, I'm around. If you want to add me as a friend, a business friend, that's great. Be more than happy to help. And I'm always willing to brainstorm. You know, you want something a bit more hardcore and concrete, then, you know, hell, pay me money for it. And I'll be there for you forever. Hell, I'm there with you forever. Be authentic, be you, consistent and visible. That will help so much. Yep, something Ellen is working on herself right now. So Ellen, do a live. I dare you. Doesn't have to be tonight, but maybe tomorrow. Do a live. Say, this is where I am. You know, I know that right now I have an issue being appropriately dressed for my video chats is an issue for me. I'm always looking for something that makes me look a bit more important. I usually live in tank tops, and it's not the most appealing to see, you know, spaghetti straps on your shoulders with not a whole lot, you know, up higher up on the chest. So I put on sweatshirts, right? But being a spoonie, I live in tank tops. I'm always running hot, and it's, you know, it's a lot easier to whip on a sweatshirt and then take it off after I'm done the live. Thank you, Rose. It's great. Put on a sweatshirt or put on like a wrap or something, or a nice, you know, floofy scarf, and focus on, you know, chin up, or, you know, shoulder, the bridge of the shoulders, the top of the shoulders. Which is great. And I'm saying a lot. I know. Hi, Kim. I hope you're doing better. I hope life's going a little bit better. Miss you. Haven't seen you pipe up on Facebook a lot lately. So I hope things are going great for you. Yes, Ellen, I dare you. This week, one live. Hell, it could be 5 minutes. It could be 10 minutes. You know, this is what I did. I said, ask me a question and I'll answer. Or I have an idea in my head that I can talk about if no one asks any real questions. So, I dare you. What do you love about your services? Or what can you share about your services? Or where are you right now? I know you just moved and the hecticness of getting reorganized and, well, we'll die together. I had a client that, you know, I basically was the bitch for her. You know, I told, you know, I didn't quite sugarcoat it, or I could email diplomatically, and, you know, make some comments, and, you know, we're going to hell together in a handbasket, and we're going to make it fun, right? But, besides the point, I'm liberal with my, religion discussion. So I know that's not everyone else's cup of tea, but hey, do you, right? You do you. This is me in a sweatshirt and my glasses. And I took a shower this week, guys. So I'm only, 2 days in? So I have fresh hair. It's not, you know, greasy. It's like nice and floofy. My silver cat is like blind, and he's the single kitten of a litter, and he's living in Ontario. So you'd have to move into the house, Denise. If you want my silver cat, you got to move into the house, and that means living with my parents. So good luck. Have fun with that. I wish you all the luck with that. But he's blind and old, and I am okay. I am rightly funny. Yes, thank you, Mom. I love you. It's true, though. Everyone... Yes, and my mom just tuned in. So that's my mother, Marie Claire, on there. So, yeah, I love my mother. She's awesome. But, you know, every woman has their own little relationship with their mother, and then they eventually turn into them. So I'm just waiting for that little click to happen, and I become my mother. Soon enough, I bet. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the only... that's pretty much the only thing I've got to talk about. Anyone else have any bits and pieces to comment on, or questions, or... I don't know. Bella? And Kat? She's so not impressed with the dog. But hey, switch it back. Jackie, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. I saw your new offering. I am super excited for you. I gotta do something like that. And I love how detailed your post is about exactly what people are getting, for that new, what was it, the planning session or whatever? I don't quite remember what you titled it or what you called the service specifically, but I love that you detailed each point. Okay, yes, we will definitely have a brainstorm session. But yeah, no, I'm looking at, you know, I love Dubsado, and I will spout the, you know, benefits till kingdom come. But I'm ready to focus on helping people one-to-one instead of helping with the tech stuff. You know, there's only so many setups you can do before you start going brain numb. And for brain fog and brain numb, that's not so great. But anyways, now I'm rambling. Anyone else? Anyone else? I've got, who do I got listening? Oh well, anyways. Yeah, so I hope this little live session helped you realize that, you know, someone says, charge your worth. It's so subjective. You know, it's not about what you're worth, because your worth, there's so many factors that come into determining your worth as a person, as a business person, as a business owner, as a service provider. There's so many factors. So work backwards and do the math. If you need someone to help you do the math, there are people out there. I'm one of those people. Feel free to hit me up for like questions on that. But yeah, I think this is a good piece of juicy content for a future blog post. Why I have issues with the charge what you're worth concept. It's all about your mindset, and everybody has different mindset issues and getting through it. You love doing the math. Math is, it doesn't lie to you, really. You know, you lie to it sometimes by making those silly mistakes, but math is so truthful, right? One of those truthful things. So you work backwards and you can get to it. I think that pretty much covers it. I think this was, what, maybe 5 minutes? Something like that. I think I will bid you all adieu. Yeah. Hell, and I'm branching out. I like math, and I'm so many bits and pieces that make my income. I'm switching to tutoring and offering some tutoring services, in-person tutoring, and I'm hopefully going to branch that out into virtual tutoring. But there's also the Just Breathe business support stuff that's going on. And us spoonies always need to get that extra social interaction and not be holed up in our little cocoon. So getting dressed weekly is, good to get out and meet people and deal with people outside the confines of our houses and our screens. yeah, so I'm proud of myself. I'm going to be, so I've got so many side bits going on. I've got to decide what I'm going to focus on. Yes, we'll figure it out together. Definitely. Ellen's one of my besties. Ellen's one of my biz besties. We get each other. And we get what not to discuss with each other. Ish. If that ever makes sense. I don't know. Yeah, combining my favorites is, yes. Tutoring, history, being useful. Tutoring math, learning history. I've gotten so into history podcasts, but being a history podcaster or a history blogger just baffles me. There's so much good content out there. I just want to digest it all before I even have, something to say. And coming up with what you want to say, your own spin point of view on history is, well, the historians frown on that, or, you rock the boat. History's all about, structure and norms and less individuality. I think it's your, the way you present your information is how you become an individual, I think. But I think that's it. I think that's all I've got to say about that in life and where I'm sitting at. Yeah, you guys saw my Tostitos, so Tostitos and cat and dog and a sweatshirt. Story of my life. It's Monday. But hey, I love you all. Thank you guys so much for joining in. And if you're on the replay, click #replay in your comments. And I'd love to get back to you. I'm going to keep checking the comments. This will ping up on my notification. So love you all. Good night from Calgary, Alberta.